Welcome back to Red Devils TV, everybody, the realest channel on YouTube. Again, day 2 on holiday, but the grind doesn't stop. Let's try and get to 2,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video. Let's get right into it. So in today's video, we are talking about Erik Ten Hag's tactics going into the 24-25 season. We've seen it mainly throughout pre-season that the go-to change in system, in tactics, is the 4-2-4 formation that Erik Ten Hag loves to choose. You know, we like to press a lot more. We're going high up the pitch. We saw it a lot in the Fulham game. We saw it a lot throughout pre-season. And I think this is Ten Hag's go-to new reliant formation when it comes to pressing, and he's suffocating the opposition. Now obviously we've seen other systems under Erik Ten Hag. He likes to set up with the 4-2-3-1 formation. He also likes to use the 4-4-2 narrow defending formation when it comes to being on the back foot, and of course when we're ultimately attacking, the 3-1-6 formation. We know Erik Ten Hag loves these formations, but this one is all about the 4-2-4 formation. Now what does this entail? Pretty much it starts from the 4-2-3-1 formation, and how it starts is that the two double pivot midfielders stay in midfield, where Bruno Fernandes, who would play further up in front of a double pivot, he also becomes almost a second striker or attacker or winger kind of player. He's kind of got a free roam in that role almost, and you've got the one striker and two wingers also pressing high up the pitch. We saw it with Casemiro as well. He likes to also crash into the box, almost making an attacking 5 formation, which is brilliant because for so long last season, which is I think where we struggled the most, was that we struggled to break teams down, we struggled to put teams under pressure. And with the start of the way the season's gone and in pre-season, it looks like United are not impatient, but we're a lot more composed, and we aren't more, I'd say they're more organised is the best way to go for it, because you see United, we've been reliant on the press from the front, you know, with Rasmus Højlund, with the likes of Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes. We're just running around like headless chickens, where when we're professing together as a unit, as a team, we seem to be putting the team, or mainly in this case Fulham, under a lot more pressure. Now obviously we've got a game coming up with Brighton this weekend, and hopefully we can stick to that system. And Brighton had a very good opening day start to the season, beating Everton 3-0. Obviously we're going to talk about this in the preview later in the week, but I do believe that, you know, we beat them 2-0 on the last day of the season. Obviously this is a different manager, but I do honestly believe that United can definitely beat Brighton. It isn't always a hard game going up against Brighton. It's always a tough game, but this is talking about the system and the formation. And I think it's also very, very important to mention the fullbacks in this situation, because obviously we are using the 4-2-4 formation, but as well, like I said, with the Casemiro situation where he likes to almost run towards the edge of the box, making an extra 5th attacking player, you allow a fullback, whether it's Mazraoui in the right back position or Dalot in the left back position, they kind of tuck into midfield alongside either Kobbie Mainoo or Casemiro. Obviously we've only seen Casemiro doing this 5th attacking player role, but the 4-2-4 formation is a very dangerous formation because it is beneficial when you're pressing teams, and it is beneficial when you're attacking teams, but you're open to the counter-attack. Like, for example, if you're playing against a team that is going to play a low block, is going to hit the ball over your team, and they're going to go on the counter-attack, we are completely exposed, because if they go down the flanks, there's not much coverage because of how many players are further forward, so you're having to be reliant on your remaining midfielders that are sitting back, and your full-backs, and probably your centre-backs. So we are open to a counter-attack, I would have to say, and this is where I love it, because in the Manchester Derby final, in the FA Cup final, we had the 4-4-2 formation where we narrowly defended. We forced Man City to go out wide, and they struggled to break us down in the middle. Now this is where Erik Ten Hag has changed it for the 4-2-4, because you get to see the wingers drop back and tuck in, and that's what causes the opposition to have to force to go out wide. So I feel like Erik Ten Hag has looked at the way United defend. We've looked at the way that United have struggled over the last season, and this 4-2-4 formation could be a very, very successful tactic, especially in Europe, because you look at the way that the formation is, a lot of teams that United might face will play with a back 3 or possibly a back 5, especially like if you look at like Turkish teams, maybe lower tier Spanish teams, maybe even obviously with German and French teams as well. The way that they set up isn't the way that United or mainly English teams would set up. Obviously English teams like to set up more of a back 4, and we force the teams up the field. Obviously, every country and every team has their own way of playing, but I've not been this excited by watching United in quite a long time. Last season was quite boring, and I feel like that whoever's spoken to Erik Ten Hag over the summer, because we all know that Erik Ten Hag, even though he's won his first game of the season, his job is still on the line. He still needs to have a very successful season under Ineos, because no doubt they will still be looking for their main man, because they probably still don't fully trust Erik Ten Hag. It was a shit show of a season last season, and they might not trust him. There's a few rumours that Bruno Fernandes is the assistant manager, because he might be interim manager if Erik Ten Hag does get the sack, which for me, obviously, it would be heartbreaking, because I really like Erik Ten Hag. I really back him as a manager, but it is concerning, and it is kind of, you say, ingenious from Ineos, because they've actually hired two managers in Ruud van Nistelrooy and Heck as Erik Ten Hag's assistant managers, because it shows that we've now got multiple managers in the club in different roles. And obviously Erik Ten Hag for me is a brilliant manager. 2 trophies in 2 seasons. He's got us believing again, and I personally believe that United can win another trophy this season. It'd be amazing if we could go deep into the Premier League, but I think that's like setting our expectations too early under Ineos. So I feel like another strong domestic cup competition in the English League, and possibly even that Europa League, because I believe United's going to get top 4. So there's my Champions League prediction already, but I do believe that United can win the Europa League as well. I mean, the Europa League's not even started yet. We don't even know who we're playing, but with this new system format, the 4 games at home and 4 games away, the versus different teams in every single match, United will have to just push it, because it's a league table now. United have got to be strong. We've got to be, crucial. Not sure why that cut off, but as I was saying with the Europa League, United needs to be careful with how they present themselves. I personally believe United can definitely get Champions League football. I've said I feel like we can win the Europa League, and hopefully we can go deep into domestic competition. I would like to win the Premier League, obviously. 21, I do believe, is coming. I'm delusional. I said it on BBC Manchester Radio a few weeks ago. So I'm looking forward to the season. But this 4-2-4 formation under Erik Ten Hag, who's going to be the best players to suit this system? Let's quickly break it down. I personally believe, obviously, we've got Andre Onana, we've got the fullbacks. I honestly really like the 2 fullbacks in Mazraoui and Dalot. They've only played 1 game together, but Luke Shaw is just too what's the word? He's too he's not fuck's sake, I'm gonna have to cut this out. But I do really like the looks of both fullbacks in Mazraoui and Diogo Dalot. Obviously, Diogo Dalot is more a right back, but he's very versatile and can play at left back. But what I like from Mazraoui and Dalot, it's only been 1 game, but Luke Shaw is just completely undependable with his injury and his fitness. So I personally would build a team with them 2 in it. Mazraoui proven that he can attack. He's proven that he's good at going forward in that first game against Fulham. There will be times where he will be caught out, I do believe, but Diogo Dalot as well, another quality fullback. And obviously De Ligt and Martinez for me would be our centre-back options. Obviously we'll have the 2 in midfield. It has to be Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro. They're just absolutely brilliant. Maybe Ugarte comes in for Casemiro or rotates with Mainoo. That could be an option if we get that deal over the line. And Ugarte is known as like a pit bull almost. He's tidy in possession, but he practically treats it like war when his team don't have the ball. And I feel like we need that aggression in that midfield, especially if we're going to play in such a, could say, unstable formation when you are open to counter attacks. And obviously Bruno Fernandes as the more advancing attacker, and then I would personally choose Garnacho and Amad Diallo, and then Rasmus Højlund or Xerxes as the striker. I do believe that Rasmus Højlund would suit this formation better because he's quick, he's strong, he carries the press from the front. We've not seen too much of Xerxes yet, so it is a bit early to criticise him, but I do believe that Rasmus Højlund at this moment in time would suit the 4-2-4 formation a lot better than Xerxes would. But that's no disrespect, because Erik Ten Hag has proven he can choose other formations mid-game and change a certain style. So I am looking forward to this season. But the 2-4-2 formation is the way United seem to be setting up throughout the season, and I cannot wait to see how it plans out. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, comment down below your thoughts on this formation. Should Erik Ten Hag stick with his 4-2-3-1 formation, or are you excited to see the new formation, the 4-2-4? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one. Take care.